Hi everyone! Depression is unfortunately a very common mental health condition, affecting millions of people worldwide, and is currently the #1 cause of disability in the world. In today's video, we're going to be talking about high-functioning depression, what it is, how it differs from major depression, how it can affect your life, and what you can do about it. But before we get into that, just a couple of disclaimers to go over. I'm a registered psychologist in the province of British Columbia, Canada, and this video is for informational purposes only. It is not intended as a substitute or replacement for advice from your doctor or mental health professional. Now, with those things out of the way, let's start talking about high-functioning depression. It's important to note that high-functioning depression is not actually a diagnostic condition. There is no formal diagnosis of high-functioning depression. However, a lot of people often use the term high-functioning depression to refer to something known as dysthymia, which is a type of depression that is characterized by long-term chronic symptoms of depression that are less severe than those of major depression. Now, it's important to seek treatment for high-functioning depression as it can significantly impact a person's quality of life, and it may lead to more severe depression if left unaddressed or untreated. And some of the key signs and symptoms of high-functioning depression include things like persistent feelings of sadness, hopelessness, or worthlessness, loss of interest or pleasure in activities that you used to enjoy doing, difficulty concentrating, remembering, or making decisions, low energy, being easily fatigued, changes in appetite or sleep patterns, trouble with self-esteem or self-confidence, difficulty with interpersonal relationships, or physical symptoms such as headaches, stomach aches, or pain that doesn't have a clear cause. Typically, high-functioning depression is a type of depression that's characterized by long-term chronic symptoms that tend to be less severe than those that you experience in major depression. People with high-functioning depression tend to be able to continue with their day-to-day activities and responsibilities, but they continue to struggle with feelings of sadness, hopelessness, irritability or moodiness, and a lack of energy or motivation. These symptoms may come and go over time and are, like I said, less severe than the symptoms of major depression. Whereas, in contrast, major depression is characterized by more severe symptoms that can more greatly interfere with a person's ability to function in their day-to-day life. Now, just because high-functioning depression tends to not be as severe as major depressive disorder, it can be a major problem and can significantly cause problems in a person's life. High-functioning depression can lead to, like I mentioned, decreased enjoyment in activities. People with high-functioning depression may find that they're unable to enjoy activities that they used to find pleasurable due to feelings of sadness while they do these activities, or a lack of energy, a lack of motivation or drive. High-functioning depression can affect a person's ability to concentrate, remember, or make decisions, which can make it challenging to engage in activities that require those mental skills and abilities. If you have high-functioning depression, you may find that you lose interest in activities that you previously enjoyed due to feelings of sadness or a lack of motivation. Another impact of high-functioning depression is that it can have a negative impact on relationships in a variety of ways. High-functioning depression can lead to difficulty in a person expressing their thoughts or feelings, or maybe have difficulty focusing on what other people are telling them, in part due to those difficulties with concentration I mentioned earlier. So this can lead to misunderstandings and communication breakdowns that can negatively impact relationships. High-functioning depression can affect a person's ability to form and maintain close relationships because of chronic feelings of low self-esteem, worthlessness, or difficulty feeling a sense of connection with other people. People with high-functioning depression may be more socially withdrawn, avoiding interacting with others due to that lack of energy or motivation, or because of negative thoughts or feelings about themselves, thinking that they aren't that interesting or that no one would want to be around, no one would want to be around them. And this results in a person being more socially isolated and withdrawn. High-functioning depression can also lead to increased conflict and arguments with other people. A person with high-functioning depression may be more irritable or moody. If you have high-functioning depression, it can also lead to changes in behavior, such as withdrawing from activities or withdrawing from other people, which can also contribute to conflict or problems, particularly in close relationships, such as with a spouse or with children. High-functioning depression can affect school and work performance. Again, we keep coming back to decreased concentration and memory. High-functioning depression can impact a person's ability to concentrate and remember or make decisions, which can make it extremely difficult to learn new information or complete work tasks or school assignments. High-functioning depression leads to decreased energy and motivation, which can make it difficult to engage in school or work activities, putting off doing assignments, or having difficulty getting started or following through on work projects. High-functioning depression can lead to changes in attendance, as it's not uncommon for people to have difficulty getting out of bed, or they may be too tired or unmotivated to go to work or school. This can be particularly problematic for self-employed individuals who have to typically motivate themselves to get to work and may not have a boss reviewing their work or making sure that they're coming to work. It can also lead to something called presenteeism. And what I mean by presenteeism is that the person may be physically present at work, but they're highly inefficient, having difficulty getting anything done, and may find themselves spending hours at work, but staring at their computer screen and getting nothing done during the course of the day. This is another way in which high-functioning depression can interfere with school or work functioning, and it leads to significant problems with productivity. Another way in which high-functioning depression can have a negative impact on life is how it affects your physical functioning. It can affect appetite. People with high-functioning depression may experience changes in appetite, like loss of appetite or an increase in appetite. And these changes can lead to weight gain or weight loss, which can have a negative effect on physical health. High-functioning depression can also cause changes in sleep patterns, such as difficulty falling or staying asleep, or increases in sleep. And these changes can lead to fatigue or difficulty functioning during the day. High-functioning depression, as I mentioned before, can cause physical symptoms such as headaches, stomach aches, muscle pain, which also affect your physical functioning. And oftentimes, a person with high-functioning depression doesn't recognize that these are symptoms associated with their mood. And they wonder, what the heck is going on with me? And why am I feeling so crummy all the time? So, what do you do? What do you do if you recognize that you might be experiencing high-functioning depression? What could you do to address it? Well, the good news is, the same tools and approaches that we use to manage major depressive disorder work really well for coping with and managing high-functioning depression. And I've talked about a number of these tools and approaches for managing high-functioning depression in a number of my previous videos, and I'd encourage you to take a look at some of those if you want to learn more specific details about techniques for managing symptoms of depression. But in brief, there are a number of things that you can do to feel better and overcome depression symptoms. And a lot of these may seem like common sense. Things like increasing physical activity or exercise, which can help reduce symptoms of depression and which can improve your mood. Establishing a regular sleep schedule and practicing good sleep hygiene to improve your sleep and manage energy and tiredness. Engaging in activities that you find pleasurable can help increase mood and increase motivation. Eating a healthy diet can help with mood and managing those physical symptoms of high-functioning depression. Connecting with other people can be really helpful, as building and maintaining supportive relationships can help establish a sense of belonging and connection with others, providing social support and buffering against the effects of depression. It can also be really helpful to talk to someone you trust about how you're feeling and your experiences with high-functioning depression. You can work on setting goals and establishing your priorities. Setting small, achievable goals and prioritizing tasks can help increase motivation. It can help you be more productive, and it can help build that sense of accomplishment as you start getting things done. It can also be useful to engage in activities that promote overall well-being. Things like spending time in nature, practicing mindfulness, or volunteering. These can all promote a sense of well-being, productivity, a sense of contributing or accomplishing something, and this can help improve your mood. In some situations, high-functioning depression can be contributed to by underlying physical health problems like diabetes, chronic pain conditions, or gastrointestinal problems like Crohn's disease. If you have any of these underlying health problems, they might be contributing to your depression symptoms. So addressing those problems could go a long way in helping you feel better. Similarly, misuse of drugs and alcohol can often be a contributing factor to depression symptoms. And if you're struggling with substance abuse or addiction, seeking treatment to help you better manage your drug or alcohol use can be an important first step in addressing symptoms of depression. So, although high-functioning depression isn't as severe as what people typically think about when they think about depression, that doesn't mean it's not interfering or that it doesn't cause problems in a person's life, and that doesn't mean that you shouldn't take steps to address it. And if you're interested in learning more about tools to manage symptoms of depression, I'd encourage you to take a look at this video. So that's all for today's video. As always, thank you for making it all the way to the end of this video, and I'll see you in the next one.